All right, hello everyone. I am Crota, and I guess I'll be doing a play-by-play and a cast and analysis of a game that was played from between two PS4 players actually. And let's just go ahead and jump right into it. I actually promised someone that they were like, "Hey, like I miss your analysis in your games. What's really going on? How come you don't do those types of things anymore?" So let's go ahead and just get this started. It's going to be between two bronze players, but they have really nice Hex Clash sleeves. I don't know if that's going to be the case, and I don't know why it's not starting up. Oh, there it goes. All right, so why am I choosing to cast a game between two PS4 players? Well, it's always a... how come it's not... Is it actually true time? Is that why it's taking a little bit too long? Starting player delay, ending delay, waited 5 seconds. All right, I don't know what's going on here. Do I have to hit spacebar every time? All right, so there you go. You're going to see Thera is going to go and place down a quick Blood Shard. No real big question there. Demigrave going to go ahead and play down a Blood Shard as well. He obviously has nothing to play. Curious as to why he actually didn't open up with the Blood Ice first. He does have a follow-up play in the Zentott's Zealot. Perhaps that was a little bit of a misclick. He does have Journey into the Nightmare, which should prove to be a very, very good game for him later on. It looks like he's running the Librarian deck, so that's going to be really, really interesting. Actually, good to see some PS4 players in like just really getting into the game and playing a interesting game there. So you see him now place down another Blood Shard, and the Zentott Zealot would have been a great card in that spot. I'm not quite sure why he didn't do that. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why he didn't do that there. And I believe his timing is just a little bit off now. It's not jumping around. Do I hit like... All right. So I guess they now have true time in the game where you actually wait while you're watching the replays. What's actually happening here in terms of the scope. Makes it a little bit less... Oh, there you go. All right, so start of the turn, Dread Botanist is going to go ahead and place on a Blood Shard, and that Vile Fang Emirate... Oh, Skittering Arachnid first. So what he's going to do is, once per turn, when a Venom you control deals damage to a champion, this is in your hand. I would have easily played the Vile Fang Emirate first. That Skittering Arachnid then becomes free on your next turn, because the Vile Fang Emirate would deal a point of damage off of the Dread Botanist, creating a Dreadling coming into play. Dreadling having that spider keyword, and the Vile Fang Emirate right there. So, yeah, a little bit waste of resources right there. He could have had an additional blocker out and really just gotten faster with it. So we'll see how that all continues to go. I can't tell what they are doing. Why is it taking so long? I don't know, and I'm sorry. All right, so let's continue to move on. This is a little bit slower than I would like. I can't tell if I'm pausing it or... All right, there's the attack. And you got to remember the replay system is still... Do I just keep on hitting spacebar to go through everything? Yeah, all right. Dreadling goes to the crypt. All right, draws a card, easily places down, and now plays the Zentott's Zealot. Little does he know that his opponent also has the Walking Boneyard in his hand. So those Dreadlings are actually going to come back to really haunt him. So there you go. Vile Fang Emirate. Oh, Vile Fang Emirate is still the card of choice. I'm not quite sure why. You gain an additional point of damage. All right. There's the attack. There's going to be a simple block. And now Demigrave is pretty much in the clear now. He's going to have Journey into the Nightmare, which is that 5 cost constant that gives you a lot just a lot of card advantage over your opponent. He has the Walking Boneyard. If he wants to, he can just hold back with the Walking Boneyard and not actually even attack with it, just be on the blocking end. We know that there is a Butcher in Theraz's hand. So we'll see what the follow-up play is going to be there. Also, the Vilefang Emirate, and perhaps he just doesn't know that Dreadlings would have been giving him 2 additional damage a turn, plus healing 2 a turn, because they are in fact spiders. I don't know if you're actually going to watch this, CK Watt 420, but if you didn't know that, hopefully that will help you out a little bit. Moving right along, you're going to see Sapphire Shard being placed down. And here we have some choices. He can either play the Walking Boneyard, which is a solid choice, or he can leave up the 4 mana for the Disturbing Thought. The Disturbing Thought, another strong card there. Zentot Zealot. And now this is one of those questions where you're figuring out how your deck is specifically trying to win. Are you trying to control your opponent? Are you trying to put pressure on the board with troops? Are you going to try and get your opponent's life to 0 in the next 3 to 5 turns? Or are you just trying to make efficient plays? That's what we really don't know yet. But we do know that Demigrave knows that CK Watt does not have resources in his hand. So he could purposely try to leave up that thought in order to just... Wow. Okay, now I have to press spacebar? I don't know. I don't know if the spacebar is actually doing anything. So he's going to play down the Walking Boneyard. The Walking Boneyard is going to get bigger every time a Dreadling is brought into play. He's going to also mill his opponent or he's going to end up drawing a card, which could end up becoming a spider. So this is one of those scary situations, as we now see. It's Into the Unknown. Very, very strong card there. Zentot Zealot's going to attack for 3, deal the damage. Now the question here is he going to play the Vilefang? Is he going to play the Butcher to remove the Zealot? What is his plans here? I still believe the Vilefang is the obvious choice. Just go ahead and place that down there. Don't even worry about it, right? He's going to let the Dreadlings attack. Those Dreadlings, one of them will get blocked by the Walking Boneyard. That's fine. The other will go through for damage. And it swings back over to opponent. The question here is also, the Walking Boneyard is now going to become a 7/7. And this is one of those situations where CK Watt's 420, his board is actually worth more to him than his life right now. And it's kind of like playing in poker or not playing in poker. Just think of your life as an additional resource that you are trying to use up in terms of trying to get the win. I may only cast 1 game if this game is this long. And what I mean by that is the Walking Boneyard is going to come in and swing for 7 damage. That is a lot of damage. It will take him down to 14. But he knows that he has an answer in his hand. He has the Butcher, and that Butcher would be able to destroy the Walking Boneyard, get rid of it. And he also knows that he can play the Skittering Arachnid for free because the Vilefang Emirate will be dealing damage. By doing that, he's actually inserting a large amount of eggs into his opponent's deck, and he's also doing a 4-point swing every turn by not doing anything on the board. The Dread Botanist, 2 of them creating 2 Dreadlings a turn, means that the Vilefang Emirate is dealing 2 damage a turn and healing 2 damage a turn. By blocking with any of those things, it actually throws things a little bit for a loop. So, CK Watt, I don't know if you're watching this, but I hope you don't block with any of your troops. Sometimes you're just thinking like, yeah, I'm going to fodder it. And a lot of times, would you rather have a Dread Botanist or have 7 more life? A lot of times it's the other way around. Sometimes you're like, I need that 7 life. But right now is not one of those times, especially since you have that Butcher in your hand. He's going to go ahead and select the blockers now. Now, here is a toss-up question. Do you use the Vilefang Emirate to block the Zealot? Here, in this situation, I would. All you do is... Oh, actually, no, you give your opponent a card. Never mind. I thought it was a mill. You actually give your opponent a card. You don't want that to be the case. The Skittering Arachnid is now automatically played for free. Played for free. There you go. Skittering Arachnid played for free. His opponent's deck is already up to 66. He can play the Butcher now. So you play the Butcher, you remove the Walking Boneyard, and now you can swing for 5. This is actually extremely scary, seeing how things are working out. You have gotten your opponent down to 15 health. You removed his biggest threat, his bomb in play, and you have so many eggs in your opponent's deck that you're bound to hit 2 to 3 of those eggs. Also, you do have a Theros ready to go, so you can in fact give all of your troops +1/+1 for the turn if you use the treat machine. I believe the treat machine, yeah. So if he top decks a shard, he's pretty much golden. All right. So we'll see how all of this works here. All right, top deck card. It looked like an incubate that actually could be a blessing in disguise. The question now is, what is his opponent going to be playing? The Journey into the Nightmare didn't help out all too much. Incubate's not going to do too much. And this is one of those situations where CK Watt's deck, because it isn't filled with a whole bunch of... He's not trying to top deck a rare here. He's trying to top deck a shard. If he top deck a shard, I believe he wins. Yeah, if he top decks a shard here, he wins. He uses the treat machine. His entire board gets +2/+2. His opponent will already be at 9 at the start of the turn. Yeah, this is extremely advantageous. We do have an Into the Unknown from Demigrave, and it looks like the Into the Unknown is going to hit the Dread Botanist, so that's going to bounce back. And Vilefang Emirate might have been I don't know. It's sheesh. All right, so Zentoth's Malice is an amazing card right now for CK Watt 420. It gives him the ability to sacrifice spiders, draw cards, gain health. So he really, really, really is just looking for a resource here. If he gets a resource here, he will deal 4 damage unless his opponent doesn't attack. Yeah, so his opponent's not attacking. All right, let's see what's going to happen here at X. There's a point of damage. A Reap. All right. Questions now. What do you do? Do you play the treat machine? No, he's just going to Reap, hit for 3. Demigrave is now going to be down to 7. And this is pain. This is perhaps very, very painful for Demigrave. And right now, if he top decks a spider, he takes more damage. The Dread Botanist, Vilefang Emirate, Dreadling, all going to swing for 3 damage here. Get his opponent down to 7. And yeah, I don't know what was worse, the Dread Botanist or the Vilefang Emirate. All right, let's take a look. We are going to be going into a knight here. So this knight is Underworld Officer, 2/2 unblockable, gets +1 attack when it attacks for every other Underworld troop. Yeah, for each Underworld troop you control this turn. He knows that he needs a blocker down, so getting that blocker is going to be helpful. He is going to have the resources to hold up pretty well. If there is something that he needs to interrupt, unfortunately for him, he doesn't know that his opponent has non-troop cards that are going to pretty much win him the game. All right, there's a Sapphire Star being played down. There's the Underworld Officer. All right. And now it's going to be passed back. Yeah, a lot of the, I think a lot of the PS4 players are very, very good at, they're good at the game already at the start. Okay, this is one of those situations. Does CK Watt realize that he has lethal in hand? Plays down the Blood Shard. If he does the... No, wait. Would that have been lethal? Let's see. Treat Machine would not have been lethal. All right. Milled 4. Okay, the Zentot's Malice was a much better card to play. Being able to sacrifice the Dreadling, draw a card, and gain 2 health. Perhaps he's looking for a spider to try to finish off his opponent. The Treat Machine would have removed the Underworld Officer. But at the same time, CK Watt doesn't know what Demigrave has in his hand. All right. So with the Treat Machine, all of his troops would have been at least 2 attack. He would have been swinging in with lethal, and by swinging in with lethal, his opponent would not be able to hold on to the Underworld Officer. So his opponent would be at 2 life with nothing in play. Now he has the choice of dropping the Oculus, and I think he's just going to hold on to this. He's probably going to use his charge power, as he should. CK Watt is in control of this game right now, as long as he sees what he needs to do. That's pretty much all there is to it. He probably now has to move to the Zentot's Malice instead of playing the Treat Machine. By playing the Treat Machine last turn, the Vilefang Emirate would have been putting his opponent on a different clock already. And now we see the Oculus is a 5/5 flyer. I don't know if I agree with that. The Growth Potion doesn't really do you anything there. You probably wanted to hold... Alright, milling some more. Oh, and he gets a spider. He gets lucky and hits one of the 2 spiders in the deck, or off of the Incubate. Alright. So now we're going to have an 8/8 flyer in the game, but you are still on a 4-turn clock. Maybe even lower, because we don't know when you may be drawing a spider, and that may be a good reason for Demigrave not to use the charge power. And also, if you were going to sacrifice the Underworld Officer, if you knew it, you should have attacked first. By attacking first, you deal 2 points of damage, and then you could have sacrificed it, been in a better spot as well. All right, that Heart's Whisper may actually come back to haunt him. We'll see. Especially by Fate Weaving. Fate Weaving can put a spider egg on top of your deck, unfortunately. All right, so there's a point of damage. All right, what do you do here? Now he plays the Treat Machine. Interesting lines. That's all I can say. These are interesting lines. Perhaps he doesn't know, and this is where exposure of the cards really make a big difference, right? So he's going to sack it. He gets a Butcher. All right. He can't hope to attack right now. Wait, what? He's doing this now? All right, you take out the Vilefang, chump block the Dread Botanist, or yeah. All right. Okay, drew a card, drew another card. Okay, has a Thought Seeker. Demigrave's still in trouble. CK Watt 420 could have been in a much better spot. Oh, there's some more mill. So, drew some more cards. Okay. He can draw more cards again, but he will get into... He has a chance of giving his opponent spiders now, which could be the death of him. All right, but he's still milling. All right, maybe he's asking for resources. Oh, there's that spider. There's a spider. And that's going to be game. Right? We do have a librarian in the deck. Right? But unfortunately, the spiderlings are unblockable. There's no treacherous pass, nothing to really get around the damage. And that is going to be the end of it. It's actually interesting to note, if the Vile Fang didn't attack, his opponent would already be dead. Well, no, his opponent would be at 1. Interesting. So yeah, there's a lot of different lines that you can take here, and I think, like, for being brand new players, a lot of the PS4 players out there, maybe it's exposure to other similar TCGs that are, but I think they're playing at a good level. They just need more exposure to the cards and figuring out how specific cards work. Not playing the Zentots Malice when you have a Dread Botanist in play, that absolutely dumbfounds me. Since it is such a good card, you have 3 unblockable troops. Your opponent is exhausted, and yeah, just attack with everything. And that will be game. All right, well, that already went a little bit longer than I thought it would. I'm actually not feeling altogether that well. Let me know if you like my analysts. If you don't like my analysts, constructive criticism is always appreciated. And yeah, let me know if you guys are new PS4 Hex Clash players. If you guys have any questions, I will answer them. Just like look through the comments. If you see a question that you like, asked, thumbs it up, and I'll try to respond to them as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.